5 easy steps to get to 12% body fat at any age. It's 2025 and I'm gonna show you how to fast forward your transformation in 5 easy steps, quickly. I've done this myself 5 times in the last decade. 2 out of the 5 transformations has happened in as little as 60 to 90 days. It's a sustainable and a science-based approach, but don't get me wrong. This is simple, but not easy. I'm gonna give you the exact plan that you need to follow with no guesswork. I use the formula that I created called the 5 golden rules, and things move quickly. So all you need to do is copy and paste this information and fast forward your transformation. My name is Dr. Michael Diamonds. I'm a scientist, a medical doctor, and pro natural bodybuilder. The 5 rules I've created, I've used on all of my clients. Sachin in his 20s, Tori in his 30s, Harry in his 40s, and he never even left his house to achieve this transformation. Donnie in his 50s, Dom, James, Dr. Gregory in their 60s, Dr. Doug in their 70s, and Dwayne in his 80s. So watch till the end and you'll have all the tools you need to get to 12% and stay there for the rest of your life. Let's not waste time. Golden rule number 1 is the number 1 exercise to lose belly fat fast, hands down. Research has shown that when you walk, it taps into fat stores. It is the easiest and the simplest exercise to melt the body fat off. And I tell my clients that when you get to 12%, you need an insurance policy for that fat to stay off. So when you're walking, your body is using fat as a source of energy. And when you increase your speed to jogging and running, your body needs a quicker source of energy and it starts transitioning to glycogen. How can we take advantage of this information? At the bare minimum, when I start with a client, we'll start off at 8,000 steps. Maybe they're already at an average of 8,000 and we'll work their way up. Keep watching. I'm gonna show you a way to gamify your steps that allow all my clients to hit 15,000 so easily, but slowly. Increase your step count according to where you are at the moment. So if you're already averaging 8,000, start at 10,000 with the objective to getting to 15,000. With all of my clients at any age, when they hit that 15,000 step mark, the fat melts off. There's no science really showing what this 15,000 step mark has to do with anything. But in my experience with coaching thousands of clients, when I hit that number, the weight starts coming off. They lose 1% of their body fat a week. And I am sure you'll see the same. And in simple reasons, the simple way that I can say why that happens is because when you're at 15,000, you're just burning so many calories through movement. This is healthy for your body. But that 15,000 step mark will compensate. It's been a long time since an app has really changed my life, and this is not sponsored. This is just something that has helped me hit 15,000 consistently. And it's an app called Pedometer Plus. And I wanna show you the evidence here. If I go to settings, I hit my daily step goal of 15,500. I use that number specifically because if you can give yourself a number right above what your goal is, usually you'll always beat what your bare minimum is. It's a psychological trick. As you guys can see on my screen, I hit over 60 days of consistency in having that number over 15,000. And what I particularly love about this app is that it keeps me motivated. It has a little widget on the screen that I'm showing you guys right now that constantly keeps a reminder of telling me how many steps I've hit. And because I'm recording a video today, it's rather low. Another amazing thing is that it has a nice little bar graph that as I go through my day, it lets me know how many steps that I've hit. So gamifying your step count and trying to hit a 15,000 number every day will help you melt the fat off. But not only that, it is so easy to keep your steps up beyond just your rigorous diet or training program. This is an easy way to set a minimum goal and standard. And I promise you, if you hit 15,000, it's super easy. The math I want you to remember is 10 minutes of walking equals 1,000 steps. So you just need to find 15 times in the day where you're gonna walk for 10 minutes, or you can group them together. Now, I always get the question, Dr. Mike, what about running and jogging? I try and stay away from those because they're harsh on the joints and they'll usually spike hunger. They'll make me very hungry. So if I am very tight for time, If I double my speed, which is usually a jogging pace, I can get double the amount of steps in that same time. So if you go from walking for 10 minutes to jogging for 10 minutes, you go from doing 1,000 steps in 10 minutes to 2,000. An hour of cardio will give you 6,000. If you go for an hour run, it'll give you 12,000 steps. So you can just use this math, and on the screen, I'm putting different ways that you can hit that 15,000 step mark. Why I've put this in the first place is that it will work. And I want you guys to comment down below now. How many steps did you hit to be able to finally lose your belly fat fast? But this is the most underrated thing. If I can get people walking, I know that they've already beaten the hardest part of the system. But we know that being able to lose weight also has a dietary component, but a little hack that you can do so you can melt the belly fat off and get to 12% like all of my clients. And that golden rule number 2 is called Proteus, also known as protein. Greek Proteus is also translated to the first order. In my personal opinion, protein is by far the most important macronutrient, and I'll tell you why. It has multiple functions in the body. And if you can hit your protein intake, and I'm gonna show you cool ways to hit that with it being super easy, the weight will come off even without your desire. I've actually had my clients lose fat too quickly just because of their protein intake. So let me explain. In short, these are the benefits of protein. When protein is broken down into amino acids, those amino acids are the bricks to be able to build muscle, right? And think about it, if you're eating enough protein, you're giving your body enough bricks to build this new wall of muscle. The second thing that protein is amazing at, compared to carbs and fats, they will make you feel full. No one has ever gotten fat of eating too much chicken breast or too much steak. It's because protein is very filling. So when you're hitting that 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or even more, it automatically sets you in a caloric deficit. This way, you don't really need to track to get to that 12%. You just need to make sure you're hitting your protein goal. Another thing I want you guys to do now, if you're unsure if you're eating enough protein or not, I want to help you. So give me your age, your weight, and your height, and I will tell you how much protein you should be eating. The third reason why protein is amazing, besides helping you be in a caloric deficit because it's gonna make you feel full, because of a hormone called peptide YY, another reason is that it has the highest thermic effect of food. It's a sexy way of saying your body uses the most energy to break down protein. Consequently, meaning that it actually boosts your metabolism because protein takes so much energy to break down. So the more protein you eat, the more fat you're gonna burn because your body's taking so much energy to break that protein down. Now, let me show you a very easy way to make sure that you're gonna hit your protein intake. Considering you're a healthy individual, you have no kidney or liver issues, there is no harm in eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. In my case, with a lot of my clients, sometimes I will go as high as 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Now, you can go to that 1.3 level. You just take your body weight and multiply it by 1.3, and it will take care of all of your hunger issues. It will take care of your muscle building issues. It'll even help you recover. So there are 2 methods that we can make sure that you're gonna hit your protein every day. The easiest one that I can help you guys with is called the palm method. So you see the shape of your palm? That is always going to be roughly 25 grams of protein. So if you take your palm and put it over a chicken breast, and if it covers your entire palm, that's 25 grams. The same applies with steak or any foods. That's an easy way for you to tally up how much protein you're eating. Another rule that I've created that helps my clients tremendously, it's called 2, 6, 8, 10 equals 50. 2 scoops of whey protein equals 50 grams of protein. 6 and 2, 6, 8, 10, 6 ounces of cooked chicken breast equals 50 grams of protein. 8 ounces of cooked steak, sirloin, tenderloin, any of the loin endings, that gives you 50 grams of protein. And then 10 ounces of white fish gives you 50 grams of protein. So all you need to do is use those numbers to be able to hit your protein target. Now you have a meal plan without really having to break your head. Let's move into golden rule number 3, which I call the elixir of life. This is going to help you look amazing, but not only that, for you to be healthy in your 50s, your 60s, and your 70s. This is extremely important for women. So golden rule number 3 is to train to build muscle. And I promised you that I was going to give you a workout routine. So on the screen right now, if you can only train 3 times per week, there you go. That's a 3-day training plan. You can only train 4 times per week, there you go. That's a 4-day training plan. 5 days, you now have no excuses. But I'm gonna give you some more nuggets about training because not enough people are talking about it. And before I even continue, guys, I just saw on the statistics that 77.7% of people watching my channel aren't subscribed. We're so close to 2 million subscribers. Subscribe, it's free, costs you nothing. And it would really help the channel out tremendously. So just take a moment, subscribe. And if you're down there already, hit the like button. But now that that's being said, what I see too many people in the gym doing is they're training just to get in and to get out. The main objective of building muscle, to being a bodybuilder, and to add muscle tissue to every frame is to have a quality contraction and a quality relaxation. That means a quality concentric part of the movement and a quality eccentric part of the movement. So when you're training, I want you to train with good form, but I want you to train where you're going to allow your bicep or your chest or your glutes or your legs to have the heaviest amount of contraction, quality contraction, and the best relaxation, a nice slow pace relaxation. And I want you to think that when you're training, you're squeezing your fat cells broken, whatever mindset shift you need. But when you train with quality, you're gonna notice that you're gonna build muscle so much quicker. So don't just power through the workouts that I've given you, but train with good form, get good range of motion, and think about squeezing the muscle and relaxing the muscle. And those workouts I've given you are great for beginners and intermediates. You will be fine with those programs. Why muscle is great is that even if you increase your body fat percentage, you will still look good. Your abs will still be popping, your chest still popping. You'll look amazing in clothing, and sometimes in the winter, it is normal to gain a little bit of fat. It is the most powerful medicine in the world, which takes me into golden rule number 4, intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is going to be another way that we create a caloric deficit, but besides the fat loss capabilities, I'm gonna tell you why intermittent fasting is so important, and I'm gonna show you the tactic. Our bodies were not designed to have food put down it the entire time. Just think about it. Imagine you have a car and you're driving your car all the time. The tires are gonna wear. From you holding the steering wheel, that's gonna wear and tear. Your seats are gonna start developing holes in it. Your engine is gonna run out of oil. It's gonna become rusty. And the same applies with your body, with eating especially. Your body wasn't designed to have food go down all the time. And this is where inflammation happens. Your gut becomes inflamed because it's digesting. Your pancreas, which develops insulin to help put the glucose in the right body parts, it becomes tired because you're giving it food all the time through the drinks that you're drinking and so much more. Your body just is in a more inflamed state. So intermittent fasting allows your body to switch to a more recovery state. So these are the formats that I highly recommend. Number 1, if you're a person who's been trying to lose weight, you keep on failing, you have high sugar cravings, no matter what you try, you cannot lose the weight. An amazing reset that I always recommend to clients is doing a 24-hour fast. And mentally, that's very challenging to do, but what I see with my clients is that once they overcome a 24-hour fast, really eating less calories becomes so much easier because you're going back to eating food and you just realize that, okay, there's a big difference. So to do a 24-hour fast, the easiest way is just have your last meal at 8 p.m. and have that last meal count as the first minute of your fast. Then 8 hours of your 24 hours will be sleeping, and that way it's not as difficult. And all you need to do is basically skip breakfast and skip lunch and then have dinner at 8 p.m. the next day. And you will see that your sugar cravings, you will see that your energy levels reset, and you will notice that it's much easier following a dieting path. But let's say you don't need a reset. Let's say you just want to start sustainably. I like doing a thing that I designed called progressive fasting. And all you're doing is you're decreasing your eating window. So for example, I want you to start with a 12-12 fast. So basically, have your breakfast at 8 a.m. and have a cutoff at 8 p.m. I noticed that this helps tremendously with people who are snackers. So you will just have a hard cutoff not to snack at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. And usually those snacks is what is causing the weight gain. It will at least stop you from gaining weight. If not, you'll already start losing weight. After about 2 weeks to a month, then change that from 12-12 to 14-10. And basically all you're doing is you're shifting your breakfast from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then after that, I want you to go from a 14-10 to the classic 16-8. This is the wildly popular fasting method. And all you're doing is you're skipping breakfast and you're having your first meal at 10 and your last meal at 8 p.m. Again, note guys that you can shift your eating window. Let's say you want to have your last meal at 10 p.m., just shift the window. It's that easy. And then as you want to get into that 15% to 12% body fat range, you can go from 16-8 to 18-6. And doing it progressively allows you to mitigate and circumvent the hunger that you'll usually feel and the low energy. You allow your body to progressively adapt to fasting. And I've actually seen with my clients, they're so much more energetic because they're not putting food down their body all the time. And then when I want to get to single digit body fat, I go as far as doing a 20-hour fasting, eating in a 4-hour window period, which is actually what I'm doing right now. So my first meal is at 4 p.m. and my last meal at 8 p.m. And sometimes I'll shift that and have my first meal at 6 p.m. and my last meal at 10 p.m. It really just depends on my meetings. But fasting with eating the high protein diet is a game changer. The weight comes melting off at any age. And for all my clients who are in their 40s, 50s and 60s, women and men, when your testosterone starts decreasing and your estrogen going through menopause starts decreasing, your body becomes a lot more sensitive to carbs. So when you're fasting, it allows you to improve your insulin sensitivity. So I notice with my clients in that 40-year-old range, their body starts responding so much better to the food because we're taking into account their low testosterone if they're a male or their low estrogen if they're a woman. High estrogen will mean that your body is better at going through and digesting food, and the same applies with testosterone. That being said, if you're 40 years old and above, you're a busy professional and you've tried everything. You've tried the personal trainers, the nutritionists, you've maybe followed my advice here and nothing is working. Usually that means that there is something very specific happening, and sometimes blood work has to be done or a gut test, hair tissue mineral analysis, and you need to work with a medical doctor. At Sculpt by Science, which is my company, we're a team of medical doctors and we transform lives on a daily basis. We've stopped heart attacks. We have help people reverse their diabetes. Sometimes there's so many things I can't share because of patient-client confidentiality, but if you feel like I just spoke to you, I encourage you to apply to work with me and my team at Sculpt by Science. We have the best doctors. I just brought on an orthopedic surgeon on the team. Let's move on. The final one and the most important one. I put this here because it's not sexy, but it will probably be the most important. This should really be at number one. It is sleep. If you're sleeping less than 7 hours, you're playing the game on hard mode. You are walking every day with weight ankles. You're walking every day with a weighted vest. And without getting into the nitty-gritty of the science, when you're asleep, it's when all the right amount of hormones are produced. It's when your body is fixing all the damage you've done to it. And it's actually where most of the fat loss is happening. When I was sleeping less than 6 hours, I would do an hour of cardio and only lose half the amount of weight. I would train more and only gain half the amount of muscle. So just getting 1 hour of extra sleep doubles my weight loss, doubles my amount of muscle that I can gain. It doubles my mental clarity, the version of Dr. Mike that I can be. But the usual culprits of why you're not sleeping enough is this. Number one, you don't respect yourself and you don't respect your sleep enough. I encourage you to just take a moment and say, excuse my French, everything, and I'm gonna prioritize myself and make sure you're sleeping 7 hours. Make that at the top of your list. If you've tried everything, get to 7 hours. Say, hey, that's my goal. Forget the diet, forget walking. Obviously, those are easy things to do, but really focus on your sleep as your priority. And you'll notice you'll eat less. You'll notice you'll eat healthier. You'll notice that you'll build muscle quicker. Think of yourself as a professional sleeper and make that a priority. But the other thing that I see that stops people from sleeping that is they're drinking caffeine in the afternoon. I have a hard cutoff of 12 o'clock and caffeine keeps you awake and it actually stays in your bloodstream for hours on end after. So if you're drinking coffee at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., I know some crazy people drinking caffeine at 6 p.m. and they say it doesn't affect them. Of course it does. The third thing I see is that people don't have a sleeping routine. We right now all use our devices, and my laptop, your TV, my phone is a mini sun, emits the same ultraviolet light, which tells your brain and decreases the chemical that is responsible for making you feel sleepy. What you can do is at least 1 hour before, stop looking at any screens, or you can get blue light blocking glasses from a company called TrueDark, and they need to be amber color. Another company is called Sleep ZM, or you can just go on Amazon and type up blue light blocking glasses, and this will allow the ultraviolet light that is stopping your sleepiness hormone from being produced to produce naturally. I just tell all my clients, hey, when you start seeing the sunset, put on your Terminator glasses and you're good. That's another reason. Sometimes the bedroom temperature, sometimes my clients are drinking water too close to bedtime. Sometimes they're eating too close to bedtime. So even though you've had a meal, your body's still breaking down all the food you've given it, making it harder to sleep. So that's what I recommend, is just developing a sleeping routine. And it's called 10-3-2-1, 10 hours before bed, no caffeine, 3 hours before bed, no more food, 2 hours before bed, no more liquids, 1 hour before bed, no more screens, or put on your blue light blocking glasses. And these are the habits that all of my clients, after joining Sculpt by Science, at bare minimum, we do so much more, but at bare minimum, these are the things that they take with them the rest of their life. I always tell them, hey guys, I don't want anyone to ever come in my company and say that they didn't get the result they desired. Obviously, humans are humans and they can make their own mistakes, but as long as they revert back to these 5 golden rules, they'll lose the weight and they'll be like, hey, Dr. Mike, I maybe fell off, but I did what I had to, which we all do as humans. I've done it. I'll leave it there. If you want a more in-depth video on how to calculate calories, how to build your own custom plan, what you need to do to change up here mentally, I highly recommend you watch this video. This video has gained about 1 million views in a couple of months, and it's being shared tremendously. If you read the comments, I've never seen a more positive comment section. I honestly think it's the #1 video on body recomposition in the world. Have a watch. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.